So today we are going to start our new topic, that is protein synthesis 3.10 protein synthesis. In our last lecture, we did about DNA replication, how DNA is replicated, how new DNA is formed, and today we will start with the protein synthesis. Now, as we have learned in the previous topic, the amino acid sequence of a protein is coded by a triplet that is known as codons. So each amino acid sequence of a protein is coded by a triplet, and those codes are known as codons in a sequence of bases along a strand of a DNA molecule. A section of DNA that contains the complete sequence of codons to code a section of DNA that contains the complete sequence of codons to code for the entire protein is called a gene. Okay, this point is clear. So definition of gene, what is the definition of gene? A section of DNA that contains the complete sequence of codons to code is known as gene. Now, in this topic, we are going to explore how the information of a gene is transcribed into RNA molecule and then translated into a specific amino acid sequence. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So in this, we are going to see how this information in the gene is transcribed into RNA molecule and then how it is translated into a specific amino acid sequence. Okay. Yes. Now, first we have transcription. Now, for this thing we have two parts: transcription and then translation. Now, in eukaryotic cells, DNA is contained within the double membrane called as nuclear envelope and encloses the nucleus. So DNA is within the double membrane, and the double membrane is known as a nuclear envelope. This protects the DNA from being damaged in the cytoplasm. Now, protein synthesis occurs in the cytoplasm at ribosomes. So ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. But chromosomal DNA molecule is too large to leave the nucleus to supply the coding information needed to determine the protein's amino acid sequence. Now, the site of protein synthesis is ribosome, but that chromosomal DNA molecule, it is so large that it is impossible for that DNA molecule to move out and to supply all the coding information needed for the protein whatever the information is required for the synthesis of protein. Okay. Now, to get around this problem, the base sequence of gene have to copied and transported to the site of protein synthesis. So what they have to do? They have to copy the gene sequence and then transport it to the site of protein synthesis. So protein synthesis, a ribosome. This process is known as transcription and produces shorter molecules of RNA. It is same like that. For example, you go to your school library, and in the school library you got a book, but you are not allowed to take out that book from school library to your home. So what you will do, you take few pictures of 3 or 4 pages. What are the important pages? Na? So you take 20, 30, 40, 50 pages picture in your mobile phone, and then when you came to your home, you take a printout of those. And again next day, you go there, you take pictures of then again 50 pages and then take a printout. So this is what you are not allowed to get the book from library to your house. In the same way, that ribosomes is the site of protein synthesis, but chromosomal DNA molecule is too large that it is not able to move to the chromosome to the site of photosynthesis. So that's what happened. That the base sequence of gene, the base sequence of gene have to be copied. The base sequence of gene has to be copied, and then it is transported to the site of photosynthesis. And this whole process is known as transcription. The same way what you are doing, you are taking a picture, okay, of small pages, like first 20 pages, 30 pages, 60 pages. In the same way, this whole protein synthesis is first copied and then transported to the site of photosynthesis. And This produces a shorter molecule of RNA. So it is not producing a big molecule of RNA. Shorter molecules are copied and then it produces the shorter molecules of RNA. Got it clear? And this whole
Yeah.
process is known as transcription. Okay. Now, although transcription results in the different polynucleotide, it has many similarities with the DNA replication. Now, for example, if you're taking a photo, maybe a blur photo, maybe something else is there, maybe you were not able to make the whole sequence clear, but somehow it is similar to the DNA. Clear?
Yeah.
Although transcription results in the different polynucleotide, it has many similarities with DNA replication. The section of DNA that contains the gene unwinds and unzips under the control of DNA helicase, beginning at a start codon. This involves a breaking of hydrogen bond between the bases. Now, a section of DNA that contains a gene unwinds and unzips under the control of DNA helicase. Now, DNA helicase is the enzyme which unzips and unwinds that particular DNA, okay, at the beginning at the start of codon. And it begins at the start of codon. Now, this involves a breaking of hydrogen bond between the bases. Now, how this happens? This hydrogen bond between the bases, it has been breakdown. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, only one strand of the two strands of DNA contains the code for the protein to be synthesized. Now, out of two strands of DNA, only one strand contains the code for the protein to be synthesized. This is the sense strand, and this strand is known as sense strand, and it runs from 5 to 3. That is 5 to 3. Okay. The other strand is from 3 to 5. It is a complementary copy of the sense strand and does not code for a protein. And this is known as antisense strand, and it acts as a template strand during transcription. Now, out of the two DNA strands, one strand contains code, and this strand is known as a sense strand, and it runs from 5th to 6th carbon. Okay. There is another strand that is known as a complementary strand, or we call it as the antisense strand, which simply act as a template strand. Got it?
Yeah.
The RNA strand formed carries the same basis sequence as the sense strand. Now RNA strand RNA strand is formed and it carries whatever the strand we are having at the sense strand. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now free RNA nucleotide will base pair with the complementary strand exposed on the antisense strand and when the DNA unzips. Okay. Now for RNA nucleotide, will the base pair for RNA nucleotide, will the base pair with complementary bases exposed to the antisense strand and DNA unzip? Now, whenever the free RNA nucleotides are there, so will base pair with the complementary strand. This RNA nucleotide will make a pair with the complementary bases exposed on the antisense strand with the when the DNA unzips. So whenever DNA is unzipping, yes.
The complementary bases are on the template strand.
Yes.
So where
Okay.
did the free RNA nucleotides come from?
The RNA nucleotides are there, na? It is formed with the help of a sense strand. See, this is the antisense strand that acts as a templated strand during the transcription so that the complementary RNA strand formed. The complementary RNA strand is formed with the help of a sense strand, which carries the same base sequence as the sense strand. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, now this free RNA nucleotide will base pair with the complementary bases exposed on the antisense strand when the DNA unzips. Fine? Now,
Yeah.
okay. Now, as you learned that we have learned in the topic 3.8, nucleic acid, the thymine base in RNA nucleotide is replaced with the uracil. So thymine is replaced by uracil. Fine.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So RNA uracils binds to adenine on the DNA template strand. So RNA uracil binds to adenine on the DNA template strand. Now, instead of thymine to adenine, A and T, uracil is there. So, in the case of RNA, sorry, uracil binds to adenine on the DNA template strand. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in this, the same phosphodiester bonds are found between RNA nucleotides and the enzyme RNA polymerase. Now, enzyme RNA polymerase and this RNA nucleotides, they are having phosphodiester bonds. Now, transcription stops at the end of the gene, and the completed short strand of RNA is known as messenger mRNA. Now, when this happens and RNA polymerase does it work, now transcription stops at the end of the gene, and completed short strand of RNA is and this completed short strand of RNA is known as messenger RNA, that is mRNA. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, this messenger RNA, it has the same base sequence as the base making up the gene of the DNA. Expect that it has a uracil in place of thymine. Got it?
Yeah.
Is that clear?
And,
DNA is having thymine, but this messenger RNA is having uracil in place of thymine. Clear? Now,
so the phosphodiester bonds that
what?
form between the nucleotides.
Phosphodiester bonds are found between RNA nucleotides by the enzyme RNA polymerase. Now, RNA polymerase makes the phosphodiester bonds between RNA nucleotides. So, different RNA nucleotides are there now. So, how they are combining?
Yeah.
They are combining with phosphodiester bonds. Okay. So,
To-
in the same base, yes. Yeah, any doubt?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, clear. Okay, fine then. Now, it is the same base sequence as the sequence of bases making up the gene of the DNA, except that it has uracil in the place of thymine. Now, the mRNA then detach from the DNA template and leaves the nucleus through a nuclear pore. Now, mRNA detach from the nuclear template and leaves the nucleus through nuclear pore. The DNA double helix reforms. Now, the reformation of DNA double helix takes place, and
Is
this
the
yes,
the mRNA the gene?
the mRNA and gene is a two different thing, bache. Gene contains
Oh.
the nucleic thing, na? So gene was not able to travel. So mRNA is traveling in place of gene. Clear?
So mRNA is like the copy of the gene.
Yes. mRNA is like a messenger RNA. It's a copy of a gene.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
So you can see direction of movement of RNA polymerase is upward, and template synthesis is a nuclear pore. So it moves out of this pore. Okay. Now this mRNA molecule then travels to a ribosome in the cell cytoplasm for the step in the protein synthesis. Clear?
Yeah.
So in this way, the translation is finished. Got it? Any doubt up to this point?
No.
Hmm?
No.
Is that clear? Any doubt?
Yeah. It's clear. No, I don't have any.
Okay, fine then. Okay, now translation. In eukaryotic cells, ribosomes are made up of two subunits. Ribosomes are made up of two subunits, one larger and one small. In eukaryotic cells, ribosomes are made up of two subunits, one large and one small. And these subunits are composed of almost equal amounts of protein and a form of RNA known as ribosomal RNA. That is, rRNA is important to maintain the structure. Okay. Now see, now translation is there. Now in eukaryotic cells, ribosomes are made up of two subunits, one large and one small. The ribosome is made up of two subunits. One unit is large, the other unit is small. And these subunits are composed of almost equal amount of protein and a form of RNA known as ribosomal RNA. So these subunits are composed of protein. They are made up of protein, and a form of RNA is there that is known as rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA. Clear?
Yeah.
This rRNA is important in maintaining the structural stability of the protein synthesis sequence. This gives the structural stability of protein synthesis sequence and plays a biochemical role in catalyzing the reaction. Here,
Yeah.
this RNA function, this is important. The function of RNA is to maintain the structural stability and plays an important biochemical role in catalyzing the reaction. Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now you can see transcription and translation involves RNA, which contains the bases url instead of thymine. That is an important point. Okay, now, after leaving the nucleus, the mRNA binds at a specific site on the small subunit of ribosome. Now, this mRNA binds to ribosome, small unit of ribosome, and the ribosome holds mRNA in a position when it is decoded or translated into the sequence of amino acids. Now, this ribosome holds the messenger RNA in a position while it decodes and translated the whole amino acid sequence. And this process is known as translation. Clear?
Yeah.
Got it? Okay, Ji. Now, transfer tRNA is another type of RNA which is necessary for the translation of the mRNA. Now, mRNA, messenger RNA, need to be translated, and which is done by transfer RNA. Now, it is composed of strands of RNA folded in such a way that three bases called anticodone are at the end of the molecule. Now, these are the anticodones, three bases forming the anticodone. This is known as anticodone. So they are at the end of a molecule. Here, this anticodone will bind to the complementary codon on mRNA following the normal base pairing. The tRNA molecule carry an amino acid corresponding to the codon. Now, if you see this codon, the base will combine this side and the complementary pairs are there. Okay, I'm again repeating. This anticodone will bind to a complementary codon on mRNA. So this base, you can say pairs up or joins the mRNA following the sequence of base pairing rule. Now, the tRNA molecule carries the amino acid corresponding to that codon. Now, whatever things are there, it is in the transfer RNA. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, Ji. Now, when the tRNA anticodone binds to complementary codons along the mRNA, the amino acids are brought together in the correct sequence to form the primary structure of the protein coded for. It will make the structure of the protein by mRNA. Clear? Now I'm again repeating.
Yeah.
When tRNA anticodones binds to complementary codons along with mRNA, so both tRNA and mRNA both are going to combine. The amino acids are brought together in a correct sequence to form a primary structure of protein coded for by the mRNA. It will form a primary structure of protein. Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Now see, this cannot happen all at once. Instead, amino acids are added one at a time to the polypeptide chain. Protein grows as this happens. Now this is a sequential in manner. It is not that it automatically at one time you can make this. So instead of amino acids are held one at a time, the polypeptide chain, that is protein, grows as this process. Now, ribosomes act as a binding site for mRNA and tRNA and catalyze the assembly of protein. Now, ribosome act as a binding site for mRNA and tRNA and catalyzes the assembly of the protein. Okay. Now, the sequence of events in translation is summarized in the next, that is in figure 5. The whole sequence is summarized like this. This is going to be the wheel. Just like this happens. The codon amino acid wheel, this one, DNA replication, and the genetic code. So by this thing, you can easily find out the DNA replication, how DNA are replicated. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the sequence is, the first sequence is the mRNA binds to a small subunit of the ribosome at its start codon AUG. Like this. This is ribosome. This is AUG. They are combining it. Fine. Now a tRNA, like C. This is MET. This is THR, different amino acid. This is a different amino acid. They are going to combine. The mRNA binds to a smaller subunit of ribosomes as a part of codon AUG. Now the tRNA with the complementary anticodon UAC, this is tRNA.
Yeah.
You can see this is your UAC. UAC binds to the mRNA start codon, is binding on this mRNA start codon. This tRNA carries the amino acid methionine. It carries some amino acid known as methionine, that is MET. Okay. Second point is clear?
Yeah.
Third point, after another tRNA with the anticodon UGC, the carrying the corresponding amino acid threonine. Another one is there. This is threonine. It is carried by UGC. UGC is carried by threonine. Fine. The amino acid methionine is transferred to the amino acid threonine on the second tRNA by the formation of a peptide bond. This catalyzes the enzyme peptidyl transferase, which is rRNA complementary of the ribosome. Is that clear?
Yeah.
The first amino acid methionine is transferred to the amino acid threonine on the second tRNA by the formation of polypeptide bond, and this catalyzes the enzyme peptidyl transferase, which is an mRNA component of the ribosome, which is an mRNA component. Clear? Now, the ribosome then moves along with mRNA, releasing the first tRNA. It releases the first tRNA. The second tRNA becomes the first, and in this way, the second tRNA will become the first one. Clear? Any doubt up to this point? Now, as the amino, you have doubt? Yes, Manya?
Pardon?
I didn't get you. What you're saying?
Can you hear what I'm saying?
Now I can hear you. Yes, sir, tell me.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
So for when it says tRNA, which is like another form of RNA, does it
transfer RNA? Does it
only work in translation?
This works in translation only, na? This works in not translation. This works in this thing, not transcription. Yeah, this works in translation only. Clear? This works in translation.
Okay.
The ribosome acts as a binding between mRNA and tRNA and catalyzes the assembly of protein. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, wait. Now stage 3 or 5 are repeated with another amino acid added to the chain each time. The process keeps repeating until the ribosome reaches the end of the mRNA to stop a codon and polypeptide is released. Clear? Now, in this way, the process keeps repeating until the ribosome reaches the end of the mRNA. As the mRNA is finished up, then at a stop codon, we add a stop codon and the polypeptide is released. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, as the amino acids are joined together, forming the primary structure of the protein, they fold into secondary and tertiary structure. Now, amino acids can fold into the secondary and tertiary structure, and this folding and the bonds that are formed determined by the sequence. Now, how they are going to fold and how they are going to, you can say, form the bonds. So this all determines on the sequence. Clear?
Yeah.
Determined by the sequence of amino acids in the primary structure. The protein may undergo further modification at Golgi apparatus. Now there is one more apparatus is there, Golgi apparatus. Protein also makes some changes to Golgi apparatus. Now, in eukaryotic cell, therefore, it is fully functional and ready to carry out specific roles for which it has been synthesized. Now, in case of eukaryotic cell, before it is fully functional and ready to carry out the specific roles which are it is being synthesized. So in this case, the things are a little bit early. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now many ribosomes may follow on the mRNA behind the first, so that the multiple identical polypeptides can be synthesized simultaneously. Now, what they are doing, trying to do this one. Many ribosomes can follow on the mRNA behind the first. Most of them, they are following each other. So the multiple identical polypeptides must be synthesized simultaneously. And why it is done? Because whatever the multipeptides we are using, it can be simultaneously synthesized. Okay, it can be manufactured simultaneously.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Any doubt?
Yeah.
No?
No.
Okay. So chapter is finished now.
Okay.
Yep. Now I will do one thing. Just try to do these questions quickly.
Okay.
Do one thing. Just quickly read this whole paragraph. Read this whole from starting. Just read it out.
Which one?
Yeah, whole page. Yeah, from page number 78 in your book.
Okay.
Read
Is it 78 or 76? Oh.
Pardon, what?
From the first